Hey, welcome back. This is Eric from the African Homestead, and I just want to introduce you to a garden fertilizer I've just started using. I'm really excited about the results I'm seeing, so I want to share with you how to make it. Okay, so what we're going to make today is compost tea. So you can see right over my shoulder I have some fresh compost here that just finished composting, and we're going to make compost tea with that. So let's just start right in with it. So the main ingredient in compost tea obviously is going to be the compost. So I have some here that's just finished processing, just finished composting. We have, some carbons left in here. You can see, as I had mentioned before, we use banana stalks or plantain stalks, and so there's a little bit of material left from that, but this is ready to go. And so I'm going to go ahead, and the other part that we need that I have here is a simple 5-gallon bucket. And so what we're going to do is fill the 5-gallon bucket about 1/3 of the way full with compost. Okay, so now that we have a little less than 1/3 of the way full of compost, we're going to go over to where I keep my animals. Okay, well, as it turns out, one of the guys that helps me here in the garden and with the animals took all the rabbit manure that I had saved up and dumped it into my compost pile. And so even though you don't need to compost rabbit manure, it can go straight on the garden. I don't really know why it happened, but anyway, it's here. So I'm just going to take some of this rabbit manure and I'm going to add it, and it's got a bunch of other stuff in it, but I'm going to take some of this rabbit manure and add it in just for a nice nitrogen boost. And this also will have a certain amount of just rabbit urine that's in there, which also is good nitrogen. And so we'll just add it into the bucket and we'll just mix that all together. Okay, now the final ingredient is water. This is some rainwater that I catch. It just runs off our roof. And so we just fill the bucket up with this rainwater. I mean, it's obviously preferable to using treated water. And if you don't have rainwater, if you have well water, that would be a good option too. But this is my preference. And this is actually something that's going to be tough to find here the further we get into the rainy season, as we get less and less rain. Okay, all right, I'm just gonna get this extra junk that's floating on the top off of here, and then you just want to mix it up. Now, as this is breaking down, it's always preferable for it to be anaerobic rather than aerobic, if I get that straight. Anyway, you don't want it to get devoid of oxygen in the water, so you want to mix it up. And it's good to take it and mix it up 2 to 3 times a day and really get it agitated, get the air worked in there. And after 3 days, this is going to be completely ready, and I'll show you that process once we get there. There we go. Mix up that compost tea. All right. There we go. You can come closer, Teal. Let's not get it on your feet.
What is compost tea?
What is compost tea? Well, that's a good question. I put compost in there, and I put a little bit of rabbit manure, and I added water to it, and then we let it soak in this bucket for 3 days. We stir it up a couple times every day so there's oxygen in it, and it will work anaerobically. Can you say anaerobic?
Anaerobic?
Anaerobic. And so we just mix it up like this to get air inside, and when we're done, we'll strain all the compost out, and that's the tea. Then we'll add water to it, and we'll be able to use it on the garden, and it's a great fertilizer. Today is the day we are going to finish making our compost tea. As I said earlier, ideally you want to mix it 2 to 3 or a couple times a day to keep the oxygen in the water, and do that for 3 days. Well, life happened and I ended up going quite a bit over the 3 days, but as much as I could, I did keep mixing it to keep the oxygen there, keep the aerobic action working. If you don't, it tends to turn anaerobic, and that's when it starts to smell bad, and it might pick up some properties that are less desirable. But for maximum benefit, you want to keep the oxygen in there. And so we finished now, we're getting ready to screen it out. I have a 5-gallon bucket here. I just put a burlap bag over the top of that, double layer, to screen out all the solids. So let me tell you a funny story. I'm getting a little bit of a bonus in this mixture because I have a 3-year-old twins that we are an extended version of potty training. My son, he's a country boy at heart, I think. And so he loves to pee outside. He'll just come out in the yard any time of day and sneak a leak. So I came to the 5-gallon bucket that I'm going to put the compost tea in, and I look inside and there's a strange yellow liquid. And so I look around and I say, "Hey buddy, did you pee in the bucket?" Yeah, he's pretty proud of that. And so I get a nice nitrogen bonus in this. So we're going to take this compost tea and slowly pour it through the burlap, screening out all the solids. In this case, some of the solids are pretty fine, so they have actually clogged up the burlap. So depending on how fine your particles are in your compost, you might need to rinse your t-shirt or your burlap a couple of times. I rinsed this one. You can see I'm just getting to this sludge down at the bottom, and it's really fine stuff. Even some paint from inside the bucket came off.
It smells yucky.
It does, huh? Well, that's because I didn't mix it like I should have. Okay, and so this, what we have left, we'll put back in the bucket. And then the material in here, all of this material that's left over, we can just put that back into the compost pile to get processed again. And there is the finished product. It's not pretty, but it's powerful. And so this you will mix at a ratio of 1 part compost tea to 10 parts water, and then just put that straight into your garden. So there you have it, compost tea. I'd love to hear if you try it, how you like it. Share in the comments below. If you have experience with compost tea and you can share some of the other benefits that it offers, please comment below. Click on the subscribe button and share this post with your friends. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.